Hi guys, it's Miss Grace with today's grab and go activity bag. So I'm going to very briefly explain to you what you have in your bag and what you're going to make, and then I'm going to tell you why I decided to pick this topic today. So you're going to get your bag, and inside your bag you have a pine cone, you have a piece of string, you have a bag of vegetable shortening or baking shortening. You might have some of this in your kitchen already. You can use it to make pie crusts or any other baked goods. It's non-toxic, so the birds can eat it and it will be okay. And then you also have a bag of bird seed. So what you're going to do is you're going to spread your vegetable shortening all over your pine cone. And then you're going to roll it in the bird seed. You use your yarn and hang it outside in the trees, and then you'll have your very own bird feeder. There should be enough supplies that you can make a couple of these. There's only one pine cone, but if you have pine cones in your backyard, you can use those. You can even use an empty toilet paper tube. So you can just smear that vegetable shortening or even peanut butter if you have peanut butter at home. Roll it in the bird seed, and then you can hang it up in your yard. So what else we have in the bag besides the supplies you need to make your bird feeder is this right here. It is a Common Birds of Ohio guidebook, and we got these from Ohio Department of Natural Resources, so thank you for them to sending us enough copies so that everybody can have one at home. And this is a really neat book because it shows you all kinds of birds that we have here in Ohio that you could see right outside in your backyard, or at a park or a pond that you're walking at. And the really nice thing about these is they will tell you what kind of habitat the bird likes. So maybe some birds like the woods, or some birds might like it at the pond. So it'll tell you the habitat of the bird, best spots to see them. Maybe they like high up in the tree, maybe they're kind of a ground bird and like to be on the ground. And it'll also tell you the range of when you might see these birds. So some birds might only come to Ohio in the wintertime. And then we have some birds who are only here maybe in the summertime. So this guidebook is really great to help you kind of identify if you're seeing a bird here in February. Is that bird typically here in Ohio? Or maybe we might have some rare bird that might be coming around. So the reason I picked this activity is because February 12th through the 15th is the Great Backyard Bird Count. So now last year, we as a library were able to participate in the Great Backyard Bird Count over at Coyote Run, which is really close here to the library. It's kind of a private nature preserve. And we went out to Coyote Run and we walked around. We looked for any kind of bird we could see. We counted all the different species and how many of them we saw. And we all came back, then we came back together and we had a bonfire and we had hot chocolate, and it was a really fun time. So I'm really sad that we can't do that this year, so maybe next year we'll be able to go back to Coyote Run and participate in another Great Backyard Bird Count. But I thought that it might be fun if I made this bag that you could participate in the Great Backyard Bird Count at your house. So the great thing about the Great Backyard Bird Count is that it can be done anywhere. It can be done at your house. It can be done at a park if you're just going for a walk. All that you need to do this is 15 minutes and something to help you keep track of what kinds of birds that you see. So inside your bag, I also have a bird count tally sheet for you. So this will help you. You can write where you're watching birds for, how long you watched it for, because you can do it for longer than 15 minutes. And then as a spot to write what kind of birds you saw and how many of them you saw, and any kind of notes, because you can take this information if you want to participate, and you can go to birdcount.org and you can upload that information of all the different kinds of birds that you saw. And that information is used by scientists to help keep track of what kinds of birds are where and how many. And that's very important because scientists can't be everywhere. They can only be in so many places. So they're relying on us as citizens to help keep track of all of these birds. Now, once you have your bird tally, you can either go to birdcount.org, you can create an account there, it's free, and you can upload your information there, or you can use the Merlin ID app, or the eBird mobile app, and you can upload all your information there. Now those two apps are really cool too because they have some bird identification stuff on there as well. So you can take that out with you as you're walking in addition to your bird guide, and you can kind of input your information right as you're going. So that's kind of nice. So some places where you might go to observe birds would be your backyard. You got a bird feeder now. Put your bird feeder out and see what kind of birds it attracts. You can take a walk around your neighborhood, or you can go to maybe any one of the metro parks. So some of the closest metro parks here to Pickerington are Pickerington Ponds, there's Blacklick Woods, Walnut Woods, and Chestnut Ridge. So those are some of the closest ones, but really if you're looking for an adventure, you can drive on out, maybe go to Slate Run, that's not that far away, or Sharon Woods. Take a little adventure and check out some of the other metro parks. Just one thing to make sure you remember is to make sure that you have your mask, that you're wearing your mask with you. The metro parks do ask that visitors to the parks make sure they wear their masks. Great thing about those masks in the winter time is it'll help keep your face warm, because I know last year when we had the Great Backyard Bird Count, it was actually kind of chilly out. So mask will help keep you warm. So some other things, make sure you have your bird guide with you. Take some cameras, some binoculars to help you see some of those faraway birds. And then also, don't forget about the library. We have a lot of resources here that you can use when you go out and when you come back from your bird walk. So a couple of the things that we have is we have some other bird guides. So here's Birds of Ohio. This one is just Birds of North America. They're kind of like the bird guide we got here from ODNR, but there's a lot more birds in there because some of them aren't just Ohio. This right here, we have a homemade bird food book. This was pretty cool. It's got some pretty neat looking bird feeders in there. I like this one. It looks like a little birthday cake. It says happy birthday, birthday cake. So that's kind of cool. Another book we have is called Birdology. So if you're really into birds and learning about birds, check out this book. It's got 30 activities and observations for exploring the world of birds. So you can learn all about birds, their habitats, their adaptations, all those good things. And then this series that I got for the library here not that long ago is Backyard Bird Watchers. And so there's specific birds. So we've got chickadees, sparrows, goldfinches, robins. I think we even have the cardinal one, I think. So these are all birds that you would see in Ohio. So it gives you some good tips and stuff for observing these kinds of birds that you might see in Ohio. And then one last thing I want to show you that's really cool that you can take with you when you go on your bird count is our Bird Nature Backpack. So I helped put this bird backpack together. There's lots of cool things inside there. You'll just come to the library, check it out, and you can take the whole thing with you when you go on your walk. Straps onto your back, so you can carry everything with you. There's binoculars in here, kid size and adult size binoculars. There is some other different kinds of bird guides from ODNR. They have a bunch of different bird guides. There's some owls, there's some warblers, water birds if you decide to go visit a pond. There's also in here a little notebook for you to make some observations that stays inside the bag, but I love to kind of look through to see what people have seen when they're out using our nature backpacks out at the different parks and stuff. So make sure you come check that out. We also have a bunch of different kinds of backpacks that you can check out as well. All right, so I hope that you get a lot of different birds out on your bird feeder. If you get some great pictures, make sure you can upload those to our Facebook page, tag us in it. We'd love to see the different kinds of birds you have at your bird feeder, or maybe that you saw when you were out participating in the Great Backyard Bird Count. All right, bye guys.